What if humanity could remember with trust? Not just documents, but voices, discoveries, traditions, and lived experience. This project imagines a decentralized living memory vault, where AI and provenance make the past searchable, verifiable, and alive. So far, we've moved from cognitive twins that model individual intent to swarms that build, to trust economies where agents transact. Now the question shifts. What should intelligence remember? This section moves from autonomous action to verified preservation of people, cultures, science, and civilizational knowledge before we turn toward governance. The core vision is simple. Memory should not disappear when devices fail, institutions change, or generations pass. A living memory vault treats knowledge as shared heritage, while preserving ownership, consent, and context. It can hold a grandmother's story, a community ritual, a scientific dataset, or a museum artifact. AI transforms raw audio, video, documents, and scans into searchable meaning across languages. Blockchain adds trust by proving who contributed something, when, and under what permissions. The result is more than storage. It is a verified memory layer for future people, cultures, and AI systems. When a language dies, an archive breaks, or a digital record is quietly altered, humanity loses more than data. It loses context, identity, and trust. A living memory vault protects knowledge so future generations can verify where it came from and understand why it mattered. A vault preserves more than finished documents. It protects the layers of memory that make knowledge meaningful. At the personal level, that includes stories, photos, letters, voices, health histories, and family connections. At the cultural level, it includes rituals, songs, crafts, languages, food, architecture, and migration experience. Scientific memory adds lab records, datasets, failed hypotheses, models, and the lineage of discovery. Civilizational memory captures laws, public decisions, disasters, ecological change, and lessons learned over time. The key idea is structure. Different memories need different capture methods, but together they form a durable inheritance. The living memory vault works because each layer solves a different trust problem. Decentralized storage makes records resilient, so no single company, archive, or disaster can erase them. Blockchain provenance records where each memory came from, who controls it, what consent applies, and how it changed over time. AI turns raw files into searchable meaning. People, places, events, timelines, and relationships. Privacy and access rules determine who can see or reuse each memory. Then XR, translation, and digital humans make retrieval experiential, so memory can be explored, heard, and understood across generations. Memory capture begins by treating experience as multimodal, not just written history. Documents provide narrative, names, decisions, and institutional context. Audio and video preserve voice, emotion, gesture, and testimony that text cannot fully carry. Spatial scans and photogrammetry protect the shape of artifacts, places, and built environments. Location, time, sensors, and device metadata add provenance. When, where, under what conditions, and with what evidence. The key is consent-based ingestion, so every stream enters the vault as a durable, verifiable record, not a loose file. AI indexing is what turns a vault from storage into understanding. Raw photos, recordings, documents, and objects are transcribed, translated, labeled, and summarized. From there, the system extracts entities: people, places, events, artifacts, claims, sources, and dates. Those entities form a knowledge graph, where relationships can be followed across generations and disciplines. Semantic embeddings add another layer, allowing search by meaning instead of exact words. So a question like "show my grandmother's migration story" becomes a guided pathway through evidence, context, emotion, and memory. A trustworthy memory system should prove what can be proven, without pretending every meaning is settled. Distributed ledger technology is useful for the factual trail. When something was added, who contributed it, whether consent was granted, what changed, and which sources or custodians are linked. Verifiable credentials strengthen that chain of accountability. But significance, harm, cultural context, and moral judgment may remain contested. The goal is not one official truth. It is verified provenance, transparent evidence, confidence levels, and room for communities to hold different interpretations responsibly. Civilization-scale memory cannot treat every artifact as open data. Each memory needs a consent boundary. Who may view it, reuse it, remix it, or train AI with it? Strong systems verify permissions without exposing the content itself, using encryption, selective disclosure, and zero-knowledge proofs. Access can also change over time, releasing material after a date, a life event, or a generational threshold. For sacred, traumatic, indigenous, or restricted knowledge, authority cannot sit with the platform alone. It must include community governance, revocation, and cultural context. The Living Memory Vault is not only a search box, it can also become a place you enter. With XR, a user might walk through a reconstructed home, village, lab, ecosystem, or historic site, finding memories by moving through context. A family archive becomes rooms of stories. A cultural collection becomes a living museum. A research project becomes a navigable model of people, tools, and places. This matters because some knowledge is spatial and embodied. A 3D artifact, a digital twin, or a recreated setting can preserve relationships, scale, emotion, and practice that documents alone often miss. A digital human can serve as a conversational doorway into the vault. A student in 2050 might ask her great-grandfather why he left his hometown, and the answer could draw from a 2032 video interview, letters, photos, and family-approved context. The same pattern can support cultural guides or scientific researchers. But the trust layer matters most. Every response must signal its provenance, directly sourced, confidently inferred, or clearly simulated. Without that boundary, preservation becomes impersonation. With it, digital humans can make archived memory accessible, personal, and ethically transparent. Preserving knowledge is not just storing facts in many languages. It means representing the relationships that give those facts meaning. Language, place, kinship, ceremony, ecology, tools, songs, and memory. A cultural knowledge graph can connect these elements without forcing them into one universal category system. Translation becomes a bridge, not a replacement. People can discover knowledge across languages while the original words, pronunciation, stories, and context remain protected. Most importantly, communities should define the metadata, permissions, and boundaries. The vault should support community memory, not take ownership of it. By 2050, the Living Memory Vault is no longer just a preservation tool. It becomes shared infrastructure for human continuity. Families can speak with guided representations of ancestors and carry forward emotional wisdom. Communities can protect languages, rituals, and local knowledge that might otherwise disappear. Scientists can trace discovery as a living process, including failures, debates, and forgotten paths. Societies can use verified memory to recover after disasters, teach future citizens, and understand planetary change. The larger idea is simple. Memory becomes interactive, trustworthy, and usable, not only for nostalgia, but for resilience and collective intelligence. The Living Memory Vault brings together trusted provenance, decentralized storage, semantic AI, privacy, XR, and digital humans to make memory verifiable, contextual, and usable. Its value is not simply preserving data. It helps people retrieve meaning across generations. Next, we extend the same agentic principles into public governance, where AI can support decisions, coordination, and institutional trust.